smells so good. 1 plus 2 divided by 1 minus 1. So 3 divided by 0. So 1. Well, it's not clear. These answers are unclear at this point. I don't know what story to tell. Alright. 1 in the chat if you would like me to tell a story, or 2 if you want Funky to tell a story. Because y'all are unclear about what story you want me to tell. So, there's that. Funky has some better life experience, so he may have better stories.
I'm going to need an example of a story to tell.
Any story. Nagin votes 2. Nagin votes Funky tell a story. I can man food while Funky tells a story. Uni says 1.2. That's not helpful.
Listen, I love you, but I'm cooking steak.
Okay.
I'll still tell a story. I just don't know. A lot of the stories that I have to tell are like, they're funny because they're not funny.
I don't have a lot of life experience that's storytelling wise.
You know what? I got one for you. I remember this. All right.
Okay, he has a story.
My first time on Tinder, and I know you're not going to like this, but also at the same time, you're going to laugh your ass off. No, stay. Trust me, you're going to like this. It's funny. So, I ended up matching with a chick on Tinder, right? And we just, small talk, whatever.
I changed my mind. 1. Oh, God, no.
Hold on. It gets good. So we go out to eat, right? I take her out to a very nice restaurant. We're sitting there chatting, and I don't know. She's just on her phone and whatnot. And I hate it. I was like, all right. This is annoying, right? When it came to coming to the bill, right? She flagged down the waiter and she goes and points to me. I'm like, we haven't even had dessert yet. First of all, like, fat boy gotta eat. Fat boy likes dessert. Come on. Seriously? Selfish, right? Red flag number 1. And this is when I started to see like something was off, right? Something was really, really off. So, the waiter comes over and is like, hey, what can I do for you? And she's like, check. And he comes over, puts it in the middle of the table, and she just immediately just pushes it over, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on? But, not upset, whatever, that's cool. And then she starts talking about how much better than me she is, and then she started asking for stuff. Like, not really asking for stuff, but kind of like asking for stuff, right? And then finally she came out with it and said, you know what? I need help with a bill. A house bill, or I forgot what it was. So I was like, all right, fine. Like, how much do you need? And I was already suspecting some stuff. And she looked at me dead in the face. I need about $3.50. And it was about that time I realized this 5'4" Tinder date wasn't 5'4" and from Tinder. It's about a 16'5" and from the crustaceans area. And I said, God damn it, monster, you ain't getting no $3.50.
You want to know what's funny is that I knew it was a joke the minute he said I have a Tinder date story because I'm the only person he ever met from Tinder. And so y'all all were sitting there listening for this punchline, and I've been sitting there knowing it was a joke the whole time.
I'm going to walk away now.
I want to know how you and Nagin met. We met on Twitch, but we met in real life as well. I found Nagin making baklava one day and was like, wow, I want to watch this. $3.50 in Russian is 357. Oh my god, really? Laughed, but I don't even know why. Yep. Story
South Park.
Story of my life.
So, in South Park, there's always the Loch Ness Monster always tries to get $3.50 from Chef's parents. We met him on we met on Tinder. She's lying. That sounds accurate.
I met Nagin on Twitch, and Ice Cream Posse was doing a meetup and had a special guest, and wouldn't tell me who it was. I suspected it was Nagin, but she was in California the night before and convinced me by saying, Kyle, I'm still in California. It can't be me. It has to be someone else. And I was like, you're right. That makes sense. No, she got on a friggin' red eye or early morning flight or whatever and got her butt to Florida. I was convinced at that point that it was Rusty. Because mind you, I didn't know Ice Cream Posse very well at the time. And I love Jeff, and Jeff is family, and I'm blessed to know him, and he is a big part of our life and a big part of our success on Twitch. But at the time, several years ago, I mean, we're talking 3 years ago now, I did not know Jeff. Or no, 2.5 years ago, I guess. I didn't know Jeff very well. I had just met him. And everyone's like, yo, Ice Cream Posse is going to be in Florida, meet up with him. And they're like, yo, Jeff, Kyle lives in Florida, meet up with her. And we're like, we've never met up with anyone.
I cook the steaks. Hold on, do me a favor.
Oh, JK.
Hold on, do me a favor.
Never met up with anyone on Twitch before, ever. And everyone's like, yo.
Cut into that, right down the middle.
In 2 seconds. No one's ever met up with us on Twitch before. Like, we're unsure. And everyone's like, yo, just meet up with them anyways. And Jeff's like, Kyle, like, come meet up with us. We have a special guest. You're going to want to meet them. And I'm like, Jeff, I've not been a part of your community that long. I think you think I know somebody and I'm more interested in meeting them than I'm interested in. And he's like, no, you want to meet them. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And so then we're sitting there like, it has to be someone we know. He keeps talking up like, oh, you know so-and-so, etc. Like, you're going to want to meet them. And so we're sitting there like so suspicious. And we're like, it's got to be Nagin. It's got to be Rusty. It's got to be so-and-so. And he keeps telling us we're wrong. All these people keep telling us we're wrong. And it was Aspie's Zoom birthday, middle of the pandemic. And Jeff pans over to his special guest being Nagin while we're on our way to Disney Springs. I'm on Zoom on my phone. Funky's driving. We're driving down to Disney to meet everybody for the meetup. And Jeff pans over and he's like, and my special guest is Chef Nagin. And I'm like, oh my God! And Funky almost wrecked the car. And I was like, I'm so excited.
She screamed.
I freaking walked around Disney yelling, Nagin! Nagin, where's Nagin? And everyone's like, who's a friggin' crazy person? And I was like, I'm just looking for Chef Nagin. Can you all chill? Bob is surprised you can remember how you met people on Twitch. Nagin is family, so I can remember how I met Nagin. And I can remember that Nagin was making baklava at a friend's house the first time I watched her. And it was summertime. But that was the first time I ever watched her stream. And it was a couple months later that we met Jeffrey when Rusty raided into Jeff. And yeah. But listen, vlog. We don't always remember how we get there, but Nagin is a person that I did not forget how I got there. Stealth hugs NMD. NMD's asleep. Oh, sorry. My fault.
Nope.
My fault.
Good, cut into that. Tell me if you like.
Alright, we're in.
Just so like, hold on. From like, yep, that and then back.
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Knife sucks, but it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Our knives need to be sharpened, but the steak is amazing. Nice and beautiful steak.
So, chat.
Look at that steak, though.
Could probably go for another like 60 seconds. Just if you don't want it that rare in the middle.
I'm fine with that.
You're fine with that?
I'm fine with that.
Are you sure?
I am.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
I just want to make sure.
Was it cold when you put it in the pan? A little bit. We probably could have put it a little bit warmer in temp to put it in the pan.
Well, I'd rather undercook it than overcook it. That way I can throw it back on for just a minute. But yeah, it was a little cold. Yeah. Yeah, no, it does. It definitely does need a little bit more. That's rare in the middle. Like, if you want medium rare.
I mean, fair enough. Put it back in a few seconds.
So like medium rare would be like right.
That color.
That right there.
For future room temperature meat, have a temp rating on them. Fair enough. Good to know.
Fair enough.
We don't cook steak often, so that's good to know.
It's been years.
Yeah.
I guess I don't.
Outside will cook, the inside will be cold. Good to know.
Makes sense.
Supposed to let it sit for a bit after taking off. The heat keeps cooking. We did let it sit for a minute or two, but
yeah, it rests.
Not quite as long as it maybe should, but still. We found these for a good deal. Now you know the technique and we'll slay, bitch. Well, we will. A big question about steak. Should a steak need A1 or Heinz 57, or should steaks always be eaten alone with no sauce?
If your steak needs sauce, it's cooked incorrectly.
Yeah. Especially if your steak is dry and that's why it needs sauce, and that's because user error ordered it too done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, just salt and pepper is more than enough. I've had steak where there's no seasoning at all, and it's still, the juice is what you want.
Salt, pepper, hot pan, a little bit of butter, baste that steak. If you want extra flavor, cast iron or hot pan with the steak, already coated in salt and pepper. Nagin is sharing with us room temp is best. And then you want some garlic, butter, salt, pepper, and maybe some rosemary or thyme in the pan, and baste that steak as you cook it. That's the best way you can make it at home from all the shows I've watched. And Nagin is a professional chef, and I will lean on her expertise to correct and or adjust what I have said. But room temp is what she shared with us tonight that was better. Salt and pepper, a little bit of butter, and if you want some extra flavor, some garlic and rosemary in the pan, and you pull that pan back and you baste with the spoon to get that butter, garlic, rosemary flavor all over the steak. She's also a professional Lego sorter. True. Only thing I do on steak is salt and pepper, habanero pepper mash, basically every protein because I like my mouth to be on fire. Let's go. Steak should be cooked with a decent red. Yeah, there you go. Only salt and pepper. I worked for a huge chef in Germany that wouldn't season the steak till it was done cooking. Interesting. Interesting. And like I said, guys, Nagin is not just a streamer on Twitch. She has cooked all around the world, and I know it seems like a joke because I say it all the time, but Nagin has cooked all around the world. She is an actual professional chef, and she knows what she's doing, and she has cooked with so many incredible humans and in so many types of restaurants that she has a lot of professional expertise. And so I know it sounds like a joke because I say it all the time, but she actually has a lot of knowledge that we lean on and that guides us, quite frequently. Elephants at Nagin's meal last I sneak a peek. I know. And giraffes and monkeys. I know love when I taste it. True. Soon to be professional bonsai tree grower.
Well.
Nagin.
Oh, I fucked up the carrots.
What did you get at Rainforest? I have to know. I have to know.
Angry.
That.
Disappointed.
Very glad I recently made chef acquaintance through Kyle and Funky. Yes, Nagin, honestly, AC Williams, you cannot go wrong in Chef Nagin's channel. I know I talk about Nagin's talent a lot, but I don't do it lightly, you guys. I don't just shout out anybody. Like, I know we shout out a lot of people, but they are people who have earned the right to be shouted out, and Nagin absolutely is one of them, and is an incredibly talented human that I am blessed to know, and blessed to get support from, and blessed to, get to see the creation she makes. And if you ever get the chance to eat Nagin's food, eat it.
Do it.
Because Nagin's fried chicken sandwich freaking changed my life. And her pasta changed my life and made it, no. Too much Chef Magazine talk. No! Nagin, it's my stream. I'll do what I want. I do what I want. Respect my authority. Well.
Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm turning the heat down a little bit on that. Because this, like, the outside looks perfect, and I don't want it more done than that on the outside. So, because this is cut, it'll cook the inside a lot quicker. This one, I'm turning the heat down because it's probably, just like Nagin said, too cold in the milk because they were thick. They're chodes.
Yeah.
They're short,
Knows a restaurant that cooks Wagyu steaks and horse sauce. Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Chode-like.
Chode-like.
Takes her 3 days to make a cheesesteak. Or cheesecake, excuse me. Rex's. Whoa. Chicken salad, made sure to order safe.